Hey everybody, off the Mike Sports Network here. So we were talking about fixing the All-Star game across a lot of sports because it's really died in a lot of leagues, but I think we might have been onto something. The Four Nations face-off, which consists in hockey of the United States, Canada, Finland, and Sweden, is taking place over the next week. The United States faced Canada on Saturday, and the U.S. won 3-1 in this game. An amazing performance by Team USA. And the NHL players of this league really showcasing their abilities in Montreal, in Canada, and winning a game effectively on the road. So amazing job by the United States hockey team. But that's not really what I want to talk about. Like the energy was palpable in this game. Within the first 9 seconds of this game, there were three fights that happened. That is what you want in terms of energy and drama and what an all-star weekend should be about. There should be some level of care and some level of want. That is what has not been existing in the NBA All-Star game. That's what's never existed in the Pro Bowl. But hockey might have figured something out here, people, in terms of their all-star break, to give some level of incentive to play for your country. And I know in football this is not really feasible because most of the best players are, and like a large chunk of the NFL is from America. Like, let's just face it, it's American football. There are international players, but not nearly enough to have an international setup like this. But if you're the NBA, or if you're if you're baseball, like, what do we love? The World Baseball Classic is fucking awesome in baseball. Why not have that happen? Like, that is awesome. And so to see within 10 seconds of this game, three fucking fights happen and the level of hitting was there. This was like a regular season or playoff NHL game. That is exactly what All-Star Weekend needs to be. Obviously, you don't want to risk getting hurt, but there's got to be some level of want and, desire. And that's my biggest issue with the NBA. There is no care in this game anymore. Like, it's all about just, shooting in the backyard with your friends. Why not have it mean something? Why not fight for your country? Like, this is what sports has desperately needed for their all-star formats, the World Classics. And like I said, baseball, they should absolutely consider this too and have a World Baseball Classic or some sort of theme like that happen over an All-Star week and delay their season. If they want to shorten the season and make that happen, that's perfect too. But I was watching this side by side with NBA All-Star Saturday Night, and I was like, God damn, I haven't seen this much juice behind an all-star event in a long time. And seeing the reaction that it got in the internet, and people were just saying, man, this absolutely fucking clears everything that the NBA has done. So good on the NHL for putting together something that's really genuinely interesting. The US is going to play in the championship game. Um, it's yet to be determined who they're going to face. They've already beaten Canada, so they might have to face Canada again, but it would take something like, they would probably have to um, I think I think they would have to beat Finland. Finland did beat Sweden in overtime, which was great, and it was an awesome, awesome event up there in Canada. But yeah, this was a fantastic, fantastic showcase of hockey, and to see the larger scope of the sports world talking about hockey was also very gratifying too, because hockey is an awesome sport. It just doesn't get nearly as much mainstream coverage as it should, because it's thought of below the major sports with football and basketball and baseball. But hockey really is, especially when it comes to Stanley Cup playoff time. But this felt like the Stanley Cup playoffs, and to see the United States go up against Canada, where most of the players, the top players in the world, are on Canada. To do that, that is a great standing for American hockey as well. So this was awesome. I hope other leagues take a look at this and consider evaluating, rather than putting your best players in just a game, make it a world competition and do some incentive and fight for your country, rather than it just be like some sort of bullshit showcase and a vacation for a bunch of your players. That's what I think has really become an issue. Like NBA All-Star Weekend used to be an event because you had the best players and yeah, they'd warm up for a little bit and have a little bit of fun, but in the fourth quarter, it was go time. This game was completely like I said, 9 seconds, 3 fights. You just don't see that in any regular season game. This was in an all-star format. So, credit to Gary Bettman and credit to everybody over in the National Hockey League and just of the hockey federations across the world for making this happen. It's going to go through the next week. It's a nice breath of fresh air in terms of the hockey season. I'll be upfront and honest with you guys. I have not really brushed up with my NHL for much of this season, but this really ignited my interest really significantly in hockey this year. So credit to the NHL and everybody for making this happen. This was amazing. Kudos to everybody involved. I hope that they continue this, and I hope it spans to other leagues across the sporting world. Because, like I said, I mean, we love the World Cup. We love the Olympics. Why not do this as part of your all-star formats? Because it creates an edge and it creates, some passion and desire for teams. Like what? Let me throw this at you guys. You guys saw the vibes that were, and I talked about this on an earlier video about how to fix the NBA All-Star Weekend. I was watching this with my sister. You saw the hunger and the level of care that was going on in France last summer with Steph Curry in his first NBA, not his first, in his first Olympics. And you saw the care that LeBron had. Like, no, guys were not, big time players were not going to the Olympics. And they did this time around. And you saw what it meant to those guys to win a gold medal. This was just a four nations face-off. And again, within 10 seconds of this game, United States and Canada, which is a big rivalry in hockey. I remember when they faced in the Olympics in a gold medal game. It was one of the great hockey games I've ever seen. But you got guys fighting within the first 10 seconds of this game 3 separate times. That doesn't happen. So I'm hoping that this kind of just ignites, and Adam Silver and these other people, Rob Manfred, can just look at this and be like, fuck. We should absolutely be able to do this to showcase our world's best talent. In the NFL with Roger Goodell, it's obviously going to be a much more difficult sell because, like I said, most of the players in the NFL are American born. And so you're really like you might maybe divide it up by city and like birthplace and make it like pride over the United States or something like that. I don't know. You can do something weird like that, but make it mean something. And I think that the NHL and hockey were onto something, and I gotta really stamp home some credit. So thanks so much for watching this. I really appreciate it. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.